All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're tracing what is literally a cinematic journey of the greatest football player in history. We're talking about the unparalleled hero's arc of Lionel Messi. And honestly, this is a story that goes way beyond just sports. So, 46. What's so special about that number? Well, it represents his record-breaking 46 team trophies. Yeah, that officially makes him the single most decorated player to ever step onto a professional pitch. But, his story definitely didn't start out with this kind of massive triumph. And it's exactly that steep climb from the bottom that makes his whole legacy so fascinating. Just listen to this quote from his former youth coach, Adrian Coria. "He's a dwarf, he's too fragile, too small." But immediately you'd realize that he was born different, that he was a phenomenon. I mean, wow. It just brilliantly illustrates the unbelievable contrast between his physically disadvantaged childhood and his ultimate god-tier status in the sport. Part 1. A phenom from Rosario. So, despite scoring nearly 500 goals for his youth team, a massive physical and financial roadblock was looming, threatening to end his career before it even really began. At just 10 years old, Messi was diagnosed with a severe growth hormone deficiency, and the treatments for this, they cost a staggering 1,000 pesos every single month. For his family, that was just an impossible financial hurdle. It was actually such a massive roadblock that it completely killed a potential transfer to the Argentine powerhouse club River Plate. Why? Because his local club flat out refused to release his player card when River Plate offered to step in and cover those medical bills. Part 2. The paper napkin contract. Running out of options back in Argentina, his family looked across the Atlantic for a lifeline, eventually securing a fateful trial with FC Barcelona for the 13-year-old. And get this, Barcelona's director was so desperate to secure him, he actually drafted the initial contract on a literal paper napkin. It's probably the most valuable piece of trash in sports history. But, the transition wasn't easy at all. He was so homesick and painfully shy at the La Masia Academy that his teammates initially thought he was mute. Yet he proved his immense bravery out on the pitch. There's his famous youth match, right? He was playing with a broken cheekbone and his protective plastic mask became a total hindrance. So what does he do? He simply throws it off and then proceeds to score 2 goals in 10 minutes. Just incredible. Once he settled in, man, his rise was just explosive. Looking at this timeline, his prodigy status was undeniable. He ascended through 5 different Barcelona tiers in a single season. Going from Juvenil B in 2003 all the way to his first team debut in 2004 at just 16 years old against FC Porto. He proved right then and there he was ready for the biggest stages in Europe. Part 3. The Barcelona Golden Era. Taken under the wing of Ronaldinho and later fully empowered by Pep Guardiola, Messi was handed the iconic number 10 shirt, kicking off a reign of unprecedented dominance. Under Guardiola, he basically achieved the impossible, 91 goals in a single calendar year in 2012. That completely smashed the European single-season scoring record. To really put that into perspective for you, imagine scoring a goal every 4 days, all year long, and doing it against the absolute best teams in the world. It's almost unbelievable. Part 4. Messi Dependency and MSN. By the 2012-2013 season, Messi was personally accounting for over 40% of Barcelona's goals, which actually birthed a brand new cultural and tactical term, Messi dependency. Literally, Barcelona's perceived tactical and psychological dependence on their star player. This statistical dependency just proved how heavily Barcelona relied on his magic to win matches. If he wasn't fully fit, even a squad completely filled with world-class superstars would fracture. They were just leaning way too heavily on one man's shoulders. So to relieve that immense pressure, manager Luis Enrique brought in Luis Suarez and Neymar to form the legendary MSN trio. And wow, they were terrifying. They combined for a Spanish record of 122 goals in the 2014-15 season, and then turned right around and shattered their own record with 131 combined goals the very next year. It genuinely remains one of the most lethal attacking lines in football history. Part 5. The Ultimate Football Legacy. In 2021, severe financial constraints forced a tearful, really shocking exit from his boyhood club. But, as we know, this heartbreak set the perfect stage for his miraculous final chapters. For years, literally the only critique anyone had was his lack of international hardware. Well, he finally conquered those demons for good. He ended Argentina's 28-year drought with a Copa America win in 2021, followed it up with the ultimate prize, the 2022 World Cup. And he just kept going. He secured a third major international title with another Copa America in 2024 and continued his relentless club performance by recently scoring his 900th career goal with Inter Miami in March 2026. 8 Ballons d'Or, over 910 senior goals, 4 Champions Leagues. When you look at this summary of his individual brilliance stacked up next to his staggering 46 total team trophies, the debate effectively ends. He truly is the most impactful player to ever step onto a pitch. Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. Considering the immense fiscal disadvantages he started out with, the financial adversity he completely overcame, and the unbelievable weight of expectation he carried for decades, is Messi's journey from a fragile kid in Rosario to the single most decorated player in history the greatest sporting narrative ever told? It's certainly one that we're going to be studying for generations to come.